Good morning, America. We are here with.
Dyke.
I'm telling you, my fucking recording technology and my whole studio is just better than that season setup they had. That shit does not have fucking tech issues like they had.
Yeah, tech support was kind of bad.
I mean, he was a nice guy.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
He was a good guy, but
He was a smart guy. Smart guy. He knew some people I knew too.
yeah, I had never used fucking Apple technology really, so it was all new to me. And then just saving the thing. How is it so difficult to fucking save the file?
Yeah, no, he was like, open up Google and do this and do that. And he was probably like, wait, I need tech support.
Yeah, I was like, God damn, dude, all I gotta do is like press one button and I fucking got that shit saved. Why do I gotta go through all these steps to save this shit?
I guess everybody's running around because of graduation.
Which reminds me, I have got that monkey off my back. I have graduated.
Oh, you graduated?
Yeah, look.
Oh, nice. You got okay. So you already had the culmination?
Yeah, fucking last Sunday actually.
Oh shoot, I've been losing track of days.
Yeah, it was nice. It was pretty cool. They played Enter Sandman at the end. Like once they dismissed everybody, they had a live band and they just started playing.
Congratulations, man! I'm really proud of you. I really am.
Thank you. Appreciate that. There's people from the gym that like saw me too. I was like, what the fuck? Like that was pretty crazy.
You're like, yo, good job.
And I was like, what the fuck? Like even people at the gym would come up to me like, hey, did you graduate this Sunday? I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, we saw you. I was like, oh shit, all right, thanks, man.
Yeah, you see, you're a lot more popular than you think. You know?
I'm flattered.
You already know.
But shit, what's up, Van Dyke? I haven't seen you since like what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, just been at home mostly, helping out the fam. Working. Stop smoking weed. Working on drinking a lot less until it's completely over. Helping out the fam bam. And helping out the fam bam, and my little brother and like my mom and my grandma, and everybody else as well, like the homies and stuff. So
What do you got right there? I see you got a little. What is it? Fireball?
freaking fireball of everything. Oh my god, it's like I really hate it, but it was literally all I could afford.
I've never met someone that like no, actually that's like I've met some people that like Fireball, but it's usually girls.
Yeah, when I was with my ex-girlfriend, she would, she'd be like, "I'll drink with you, but I've got a fireball," and I was like,
Yeah, like, I don't know what it is about Fireball and girls. It's just like God, maybe because it has like that aftertaste of cinnamon or some shit.
tastes like
It literally says cinnamon, right? That says cinnamon.
it's like I'm gonna feel this in the morning too. This thing be burning.
Yeah, that shit's fucking.
It's not the best.
It's not the best, but I mean, it goes down smooth.
Yeah, it's nice. I'd chase it with water, honestly.
That's the way to go sometimes.
That was what this one girl, rest in peace, one of my friends that she passed away, and she'd come over to my grandma's house when we were living over there, and then she'd be, I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna get a bottle, and then she'd be like, I love E&J and I like Fireball, and then we would drink E&J together. So
What's E&J?
E&J is brandy, and so. Yeah, she would like chase it with water and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like pay homage to her, like when I just chase it with water. I don't really drink juice or soda and like, cause I feel like it's just too much sugar.
Probably.
But like water is literally my best friend. So
yeah, I got Fireball, like a big bottle of Fireball, just because it was cheap, and I just figured nobody wants to drink this fucking shit here, man. I'll just get it because it's a big bottle and it's cheap.
I remember, changing the subject, actually relating to it though. I remember when you came over and you brought a big bottle of like for my birthday. Yeah. He was like, you brought a big bottle of Amsterdam. He was like, hey Van Dyke, I'm gonna get you drunk. And you just came over with a big bottle, and I was like, "Oh, damn! Thank you, Caesar. That means a lot." I probably like just gave it to the homies and let them drink it, but because I don't really drink that. But I mean, you get what you get,
I remember that. Yeah, I was like, I can't go empty-handed. That's not the SB way. So I went I went with that bottle of vodka because I was like, this is a big ass bottle. We should have some fun with it.
Yeah, good times. No, I had a great time that night. I mean, it was for my birthday, and I was really happy to see you and stuff. And a lot of people, I guess, we had, everybody, matched up and stuff, got some drinks and stuff. So
Yeah,
it was a fun night that night.
it was a fun night. Yeah, always good times over there when it's after dark.
Yeah, it was. I'd be like, oh my god, memories of me like throwing shows and stuff like that. People still come up to me, like I'd be at the bus stop. They're like, "Hey, Van Dyke, is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he'd be like, "Yo, you're the guy that used to throw shows. Like, I know you." And then like, oh my god, it'd like spiral out of control sometimes because so many people would be there and like helicopters would have to come and shut it down. Neighbors would get pissed, but I would try to go and knock on like all my neighbors' doors, like, "Hey, I'm gonna have a party today." Hustle up some money basically, and and then I don't know, so, like one of my neighbors would like come outside. It's like, "Hey, you're having another party." And then sometimes they would call the cops and stuff because then everybody would start roaming the streets and like doing just like vandal stuff. Like I remember one time my neighbor was like, "Hey, somebody went into my grandma's car and stole," like I was like, "Fuck," like I'm sorry about that. But then other people would come up to me and like, "Yo, that was a great time, bro. Like that shit was dope." Like, oh my gosh, good times, good times.
So, do you usually get little bottles like that to just?
Yeah, just kind of keep it minimum. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just that's why I say like I'm not the kind of guy now to just chug and stuff like that. Just drink. I just kind of just sip on it and just to kind of keep myself in order and just.
Do you need it to function?
Sometimes, yes, for sure, and it has its definitely consequences. Yeah, like, but that's just drinking 101. You're right. That's you kind of figured, like just, yeah, of course it's a bad habit,
Mm-hmm.
That's why I put down the weed, bro. I was like, nah, I'm done with that, bro. And then like, I realized how much more clear like my head got, but then like even drinking is like something that can like just like I don't know what I really gotta read like what the fuck they put in this shit. I'm like, am I getting drugged?
Do you think you'll ever put down the bottle?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, because I feel like it's just I don't know, it just creates so much more problems and stuff, and then it makes me feel like shit in the morning sometimes, and then sometimes I'm just like like addiction, like craving it, like man, I can go for a little drink right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that's why like I'm so glad that like even weed like had that effect too. Like I was like, I want to smoke some weed, but like for so many years I smoked for like so many years, like and then it's like it has its side effects when you leave it and shit like that, and so and then also like rolling up a blunt like along with it like cigar paper. And I'm like, man, this is all unhealthy. Like when I eventually stopped, I was like, this is all fucking unhealthy. Like, so, and then like I was heartbroken after me and Kiki broke up. So I was like, man, something has to fucking change. And so I just like I changed that.
You quit weed or
quit weed, and I quit
keep it.
Yeah.
Quit weed.
I quit weed and I quit smoking cigar papers and stuff like that. The blunts and stuff. Like backwoods, and like and yeah, like just like I just was like, yeah, nah, something has to change, like for real. And I don't smoke anything else. I've never even done like I've never smoked all that other crap that everybody used to be smoking, like vapes. Never smoked vapes. I did smoke the dab pen, like every now and then. But then I really like when I decided to stop, I just threw like all my weed out and stuff, or I like.
And what was that?
Gave it to my. It was like a dad pen is like one of those pens that had like.
Oh no! When did you stop?
Oh, this was like. It's about to be it's over a month now.
Really?
Like yeah, because that was like 2 weeks before we met last time and shit. Mm-hmm. And so now it's like I have it written down, but I'll look into that later. But yeah, it's been like over a month now.
Oh sure. Okay.
So
nice.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm just not interested anymore. Like for real, no interest.
And when you quit the weed, you also quit the heavier drinking?
Yeah, that too, for sure. You know, I don't, yeah, that's why I drink a lot less now and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, man, something has to change. Like, you know, I would tell myself, like, man, you're gonna die soon. You know, like, if that's what you want to do, like, and I'm like, you know, just convincing myself, like, nah, like, no, like. And then I would start, you know, like, I'd pray, like, you know, for, like, change and stuff like that, and kind of give me some, like, encouragement and stuff like that. And then, you know, just pray for, like, good things to happen in the world and good things to happen, like, and everything comes together, like, when I'm in a better mindset and stuff like that, and it's not stressing me out, and, like, and then, yeah, the weed, and the cigar paper. That shit, you know, it's addicting. Like, you know, all that's addicting, you know, like even drinking. I go back to a time when I was in the hospital because I like was at my nephew's first birthday. Mm-hmm. Now he's 2. So like yeah, that was when I was with my we was in Encino, and then like I guess we were all drinking with my family and everything, and like. And then we went to my brother-in-law's house in like Santa Clarita, and like we were all drinking, and then I just kind of like I felt like I got like an anxiety attack, and I kind of like started hyperventilating, and then like I went to like then they gave me like a nebulizer, which is like a tool for like when you have asthma and stuff like that. They had one, so I kind of like was getting really hot, and like was like I had to like chill. And then they're like, you know, I'm a nurse. I'll help you out, like, because there was a bunch of people there. And then so I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like, I was still kind of like, and you know, like I probably had smoked like weed, like with like my like you know, I don't know. I was just like overdoing everything and stuff like that. And then I was kind of having like a panic attack. And then my mom like was like, all right, we're taking him to the hospital. And then they took us home like. And we went to Encino, and we went to which is a really good hospital, Cedar Sinai, and you know I was there, and I was like, oh, this that, you know, time went by. Then I was with with Kiki, my ex, and she was there, like, you know, that's why, bless her heart, you know, she's an amazing person, even though she has her troubles too. But and then, you know, like a doctor came in, and like a female doctor, an Asian lady. And she's like, okay, we got your blood works back, blah blah blah. You kind of like, you're fine. You're not dying, you know. But you know, I guess they can see that I was drinking and smoking and like all that kind of stuff, because the blood works, I guess, will tell you that because I worked at a hospital too, like as a security officer. And she said, like, yeah. She gave me like a real talk. Like, she was like, you need to change your habits, which really like motivated me. Like, it really like kind of opened my eyes. Like, you need to change your habits, this and that. Basically, you're overdosing on this, and she's like, if you don't do that, like, I don't know, you know where you're gonna end up. And I'm just like, damn, that was a real ass talk. Like, I was like, fuck. I mean, that was really sweet of her.
And she was saying that in reference to your drinking and weed smoking?
Yeah, weed smoking. And, like, you know, like nicotine. You know, all that stuff comes up on the blood works. Mm. And so she was like, yeah, you're basically overdosing. I was like, what the fuck?
But now you've taken
Like that's why like I remember her telling me that, and that's why like I was like, you know what, at that time I was still probably smoking and just getting into everything else, but like drinking. I mean, and then yeah, then like that really kind of like motivated me to stop smoking weed, and so a lot of things did like just. I'm just like I said, I'm just tired of it, and then that, this and that, like, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you finally stopped the weed smoking.
Yeah.
And you're still going strong, right?
Yeah, I feel a lot better. Like at least with that, like my chest does feel better most of the time. Like I could breathe a lot better now. Like all that, like yeah, it was just bad habits. Yeah. And we all have bad habits, man. Like I said, even eating. Some people overeat, get fucking cancer. Like not obesity. No offense to that, but like, they develop some health problems. There's some health problems with stuff like that. Like me, like I realized, like, 'cause I hardly would go to the doctor, but I realized I'm like, man, I might have an eating disorder because sometimes I'd be like not hungry or like I'm very picky with what I want to eat. So yeah.
Did you end up having one?
I still have yet to go see, but I've done a lot of research. Like when I'm on my phone, I'll just like research it and then I'll look at like my tendencies and I'm like, I basically self-diagnose. Like I'm like, yeah, I might. That's why I'd be forcing myself like, man, eat something, I'd be like, just, I don't know, like, and I'll have some money. I'm like, man, I'm gonna go get a salad or something, like, or like, yeah, or like I'll go get a, I'm like, just force yourself to eat something, and then, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's just out of habit, like, really.
Yeah, I feel it. Sometimes that happens. You can take a little drink.
Yeah, real quick.
I'll take a little drink, too, of, this is water.
I got mine right here, too. I'm gonna chase it down with it.
I think this is, one of the first podcasts I do without alcohol.
Without alcohol? Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you'd have your buddies over here and,
yeah, we'd fucking...
Yeah, you'd get drunk and shit.
Super fucking drunk.
I feel that.
Yeah, we'd fucking kill bottles and shit. Like, sometimes even two. I remember one time, someone actually threw up on the podcast. Only one person has thrown up on the podcast. So
wow. That's gnarly.
Yeah,
we
used to go fucking hard on this shit. That's why, like, you saw me spraying that Febreze Aloha scent or Hawaiian breeze. I don't know what the fuck it was. But yeah, that shit brought me back. I was like, God damn, I would spray this shit before every podcast. And it just made me think, like, God damn, I don't want to drink like that again.
Yeah. It was just like, yeah, you gotta keep the place fresh at least.
It smells good, though. I like the Hawaiian breeze.
Yeah, it actually does. And I remember, hey, man, I remember when COVID came around. Dude, like, I was working at a convalescent home in La Crescenta where my aunt, she got me a job there. And, like, as a housekeeper. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I had that job for, like, 3 years. And then, shoot. I forgot what we were talking about.
You mentioned COVID. You
remember something? When COVID came, like, I remember, like, like, being, like, stressed out working and stuff like that because I was, like, I guess maybe, because everybody was catching COVID in the facility, like, everybody. Like, there was so many poor, like, old men and old lady, like, they got sick and they passed away and stuff like that. And they were like, oh, it was related to COVID, and like, the nurses would talk to me and stuff like that. And then, like, I remember talking to one of the head nurses, an RN, she was really nice to me, and she was like, hey, is everything okay? And then, like, I was like, no, like, I can't smell. Like, and she's like, oh, you might have COVID. And then I got it. Yeah, basically I had to, like, stay at home and stuff like that. And then that, I was like, damn. And then I would come to work and then, like, a lady's like, hey, you don't want to get, I was worried because I didn't want to get my family sick, you know, because I was living with them, and basically one of the LVNs uh like she told me, she was like, hey, you know, you can get a hotel, like you can just call this number and then like you can get a hotel and it'll be for 2 weeks because you're in the medical field, you know. So basically I'm like a first responder, like because I'm working there, you know, like. And then she's like, yeah, you know, you as long as you have a job, like you can get that. And so, bro, I was getting hotel after hotel after hotel after hotel, bro, for like months. And then I'd bring the homies over, like a bunch of homies, like. And then like I remember having like, bro, I'd be at the Hilton in Glendale. I'd be like, I'd bring my ex girlfriend Kiki. I'd bring my baby mama. I'd bring like I'd bring a lot of homies, and then like some of my best friends too. And then like they'd bring their girlfriends too. And then,
But weren't you sick, man?
but yeah, everybody was getting sick. Oh, but at that time, no, I was kind of better. I was just kind of finessing it. And then like I remember like I brought a bunch of homies, the crew, like in the yeah, like, and then like basically like everybody was just wilding out, and then the fucking hotel staff had to come and be like, hey, everybody has to leave. I'm like, guys, everybody has to leave. I'm like, yeah, so good time. I'm telling you, I was like, you know what, since I'll finesse this a little bit. And I was still getting paid, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
you know, because I, like sick leave, basically.
Yeah, I never got it, so I don't know how it is. I mean, they would always say, oh, you should get checked because you can't smell. I was like, yeah, motherfucker, like I've never been able to smell.
Well, you know, you might have COVID your whole life. And I was kidding.
I would get tested every like twice a week sometimes,
Dude,
for my job, and I was like one of the only ones that never got that
Dude,
shit.
I'm trying to tell you, I take a test all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I would like even they had like at home tests because, you know, COVID would, you know, they say like, oh, we're, you never know. I never like, I always passed the test. Like even my ex, she had COVID and stuff like that, and cause she came out positive, and I was like, all right, I know we took a test, and I was like, all right, I don't know, don't tell my mom, but I don't know, just make sure you're clean and stuff. You know?
Make sure you're clean.
Because then I took it, and I don't have it every time. It might be because of the alcohol.
Maybe.
You know,
Yeah,
that's what cleans you out.
That's what the president of Belarus told his people, that, you know, you could like, I think he said, fight COVID with vodka, some shit like that.
I mean, it might have some truth to it. I mean, that's probably why you know, I don't really get so sick all the time. Like, I rarely get sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then sometimes, like, you know, like I might have like a cough, but then it might be like just like sinus. You know what I'm saying? Like just a little bit like a you know, a bit of sinus maybe infection or something. And then, so I was like, you know,
What does that feel like? I've been actually reading about like sinus type shit.
I haven't really like caught up with the research about it really, but like it's, you know, it's all connected right here. I would ask like some of the doctors and stuff like that, like when I was working at like at Providence, like it goes like around here, like it's like it's
Your
like
nose?
it goes through your nose, it goes through like your, that's why your ear can get sinus. And then, you know, obviously it kind of like just kind of comes around like here, like type thing. I guess he had more research about it.
But what is it, like a sinus infection makes your like face hurt or what?
I'm not really too sure. I mean, I feel like, you know, it can do a lot of things really. Like sometimes like my nose be just kind of runny sometimes, like and like I'd sneeze and it'd just kind of be like green. I'm like, like
Sounds like just boogers, man. Dyke.
it'd be like, but then, you know, it'd change colors sometimes, and yeah, it'd just be like. And then that's why I be like just kind of, I'll pick my nose and then just kind of like, or like, you know, I blow my nose and like get all the boogers out and stuff like that. And then just feel better after that. I realized, but I'd look crazy sometimes, like, I don't know, like they'd hear me like they'd be like, "Is this guy sniffing something?" I'm like, "What the fuck? I don't sniff anything. I've never sniffed anything in my life like that." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ever. 29, still to this day. There's like not a person in the world that can ever be like, "Yeah, I was with him. He was sniffing." I'm like, what the fuck? Hell no, dude.
Sniffing what?
Like any like drugs and shit like that, like meth and like coke or whatever the hell. Like I will tell you this, I heard of a remedy, and my Eden had told me that, my sister. She's like, like if you wanna like get that sinus out, just drop a lemon in your nose. Here, I'll help you. I'd be like, okay, and it kind of, I don't know, it kind of did help, like flush out whatever was in there, because I guess it's like natural, it's natural remedy. I guess it's like holistic.
That sounds like it would hurt.
Dude, it hurt so bad, but I did like it. I would be congested, but it did like clear everything. Like I'll be like, ah. It hurt though. I would be like, and then
yeah, it burns, right?
But then yeah, for sure. But it get everything out. I wouldn't feel as congested anymore, and it's like a natural remedy. Like you could use lemon for. Like if your armpit smells or something.
I heard about that, yeah.
My mom would be like, Van Dyke, you smell. Just cut a lemon. He's like, go take a shower. I'd be like, all right. And she's like, here's a lemon. And then she's like, put it on there.
Wait, a lemon or a lime?
Well, she gave me a lemon.
Okay.
They're wild, just being from Nicaragua. So it'd be like that. Do you have a tissue, by the way?
I usually do. Shit, I'm surprised I don't.
All right, cool. This is good. You didn't use this one, right?
Fucking no.
No. It's your comrade.
No, I used to always have napkins here, and people would always say, "Oh, why do you have that? You just want to like beat off?" And I'm like, "No, motherfucker!" Like, because you know how we would take shots back then in the podcast. There's always some motherfucker that pours a shot and then fucking spills some. So like, I learned to just always keep napkins by my desk.
I usually have tissues too. Like I have them, but I have to go and get some more. So I'll just get some like toilet paper and then just blow my nose with that.
That shit puts in work. It's always nice to have some type of paper on you in case.
Man, we're getting older, and that's why I realized I'm like, man, like I didn't used to get boogers like all the time like that, but it's like I guess just because maybe I'd be breathing or something like now like through because I always breathe through my nose like when I sleep, so I don't snore. But then I end up falling asleep, and then they'd be like, "You were snoring like hell." And they're like, "Oh, like I don't know. I'm asleep." And yeah, it's crazy like how what sleep is like. Like when you can actually get some, and you be laying down. And like I remember one time I was me and my buddy like my buddies were having a party all the way in like it was like what? It was like 2 hours away. I forgot what it's called. Palm Springs. Mm-hmm. So me and my buddy, like, that was like around COVID time, and we were like, I was, because we just kind of chill outside and just like, that was when like I smoked weed, and then like, and like we was drinking, we were just partying, and like, hey, there's gonna be a party, like, your boy SP is gonna like, him and everybody are gonna link up and stuff like that. They're gonna have a party. They said, they're like, I'm welcome to come. And so I was like, hey, bro, you wanna go? I know you can go too because you're cool with them too. And then he's like, yeah, let's go. And then so we drove all the way out there, and then we were all partying with a bunch of people. It was really cool, really nice. Everybody, it was like a nice place. Everybody put their money together. Really nice place, and like everybody was getting drunk and shit, and everybody was doing some bizarre stuff too. Like some nigga fell asleep outside, and he fucking lost his phone, and then we had to help him find it. And then like everybody was just doing random things. Some people were like got some girls over, and they doing stuff in the bedrooms that they had. I slept on the couch with one of my other friends, and I literally like fell asleep, and then kind of drift, like nodded off to just kind of like I'm drunk now, all that. So I was like I kind of like leaned onto his shoulder, and then I guess they're like you know, because I fell asleep. I like he's like, dude, he was like, you were talking in your sleep. I was like, because he was kind of like, hey, get off me. And then he was like, stop, mom. I was like, what the fuck? And but then he was like, oh, no, Van Dyke's cool. So he kind of just let me like lay on his shoulder. So, no, I'm not gay though. I promise you.
Left out the part where he sucked his dick.
No, oh my god. At least I don't think so. Fuck no, I ain't doing that, bro. Hell no. So no.
What's up with self-provoked? That's what you meant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where's he been at?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing this thing, rapping a lot more, and you know, from time to time, he got a new car, a new Mercedes. You know, he be doing this thing, and so like he needed me for my music video, and so he was like, "Hey, you're gonna come with me." And so like, you know, we're gonna shoot a shot, and then he's like, "I want you to drive the car, but I want you to be very careful." And I was like, all right. He's like, all right, so cool, we get it. He's like, you got your driver's license now? And I'm like, yes, sir, I do. And I had my car at that time. I had to sell it, but yeah, I had my car at that time. So I'm like, I drive all the time. Don't worry. He's like, all right, I'm counting on you. And then he was in the front seat, and you know he was rapping and stuff like that. You know, and we had the like tripod connected to the car and stuff like that because he knows a lot of people like that really like to help him out. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, they put it all together, and then so I just driving the car like around the block, up and down, just you know like going in a circle because he wanted a specific shot, and so yeah, it came out really nice. I mean, I'll show it to you after too.
No, let's see it.
Yeah, it came out really cool, and so you just see me in the video, kind of because he's like, yeah, you're gonna be in the video too. Pulling up.
Did you have a gun?
No. At least I didn't have one. I'm pretty sure he had one somewhere. Maybe.
Allegedly.
But yeah, came out really good. I got really good quality, and he had spent a bunch of money on like, you know, I like getting some girls to come over and like.
I always wanted to ask about that. Like, fuck, there's this one video where he has like a bunch of girls.
Her, I don't know. But no, she was a model because it's like, you know.
Yeah, he always has very attractive girls in his videos.
Yeah, he knows like a bunch of girls. You know what I'm saying? He and you know he keeps good. He try to keep good terms with all of them, but you know, whatever. You know, whenever he. But yeah, you already know he's like that. He my guy. You know, he got it, bro. He got that kind of swagger. He got that swagger in him. Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? I think the music video for Head On Straight. Do you know that one?
Yeah, no, is it?
There's like fucking. It was fucking filmed at your house, man, Dyke. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I don't. Well, actually, I will remember it if I see it. But yeah, I brought a bunch of people. I think it was Head On Straight. Yeah, it was Head On Straight. He's like, dude, you don't remember it was at your house? Because I don't like remember like all of his songs because like, but I do remember the ones that like I really like you know, I really like and stuff. Sometimes I don't even remember my songs. Like, memory is such a like fragile thing. But then it's like, you know, you realize that, like, once you see it, it's like, oh, I do remember that. Or, you know, like, yeah, like, my grandma, she'd be, like, remembering stuff randomly, too. Like, I had to tell her, I'm like, Grandma, you did this. She's like, no. And I'm like, yes, remember? And then she's like, oh. Like, I just got it.
I feel like I've been lucky to still be able to remember a lot of shit, like, even like dates and shit. So I'm glad about that.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I remember being like younger and then like, I remember this one time like being at the Boys and Girls Club and like there was this like girl that really liked me, but she just knew Spanish. And I was like, I would like have to have like a translator with me to like talk to her. And she's like, yeah, she wants to go out with you. She like, you know, she really likes you and stuff. And so, like, and then I'd see her and she'd be, like, smiling and stuff like that. But then, obviously, like, you know, she ended up finding somebody probably that could speak a little more better Spanish. And, like,
Yeah, it's hard to come by nowadays. I fucking work with so many people that, they don't look as brown as me, but they're like Latino but speak no Spanish. I'm like,
Yeah.
God damn, bro, like you're over here fucking saying you're a proud Chicano or Chicana, you can't even speak Spanish. Shit.
Nah, they, yeah, you need to learn. Yeah, that's why I've been, like like my Nicaraguan American, because like I was made over here, like born over here, but I was made over there, because like my dad lived over there, so my mom was pregnant when she came back, and she did that a few times, like, and so, well, like with my little brother and my sister, because my dad, didn't have his papers yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I call myself like a Nicaraguan American, because, yeah, I was made over there, but I was born here, and I'm lucky enough to be born here, and they'd be like, "You're Nicaraguan," and then be like, "Then you should know Spanish." And so I'm like, "All right, you know what? I'm gonna start practicing more." And now being like in different places, like growing up in Pacoima, growing up in like, like other places, like I started to pick up and remember like a little more Spanish and stuff like that, and like research words like when I have the chance, like, hey, how do I say this? Because you can just Google it really quick. Like, how do I say this in Spanish? And then I kind of just pick up on stuff like that. I'm still a little fresh at it, but I could see like I got a little better at it. You know what I'm saying? Because like I'm like now I'm living like up in Panorama, and so like I run into a lot of people that speak a lot of Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be asking them like, oh, how do I say this, and how do I say that, and so yeah, just just trying to pick up on it.
You know who brought you up the other day?
Who?
Sarah.
Oh, Sarah.
Yeah, she was like, "Hey, you were hanging out with Van Dyke like last week," and I was like, "What the fuck did you know?"
Because she probably saw it on my
Yeah,
Instagram.
she said like, "Oh, I saw like on his story," and I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't even know he fucking posted shit." I was like, "God damn it, Van Dyke, you should have told me so I could look good and shit."
Ah, man, I'm sorry. I was like, hey, I know you're over here just on the computer.
Yeah, I'm here trying to figure this alien technology out and shit.
Literally, it was literally that. You're uploading, and I was like, yeah, let me get a little bit of this. Because I just took like a real quick story. And then, it's funny, Zulema even hit me up.
About that.
Because she has a new, boyfriend that she's really, interested in. And then she was like, reunited.
Shit, I mean, it's not like the first time we fucking hung out in a good while. I think people just forget that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just hope, they're all doing good and stuff like that. So.
I'll ask Sarah when I see her. Are you doing good?
Yeah. I'll be praying and shit. Like, pray for all my friends. Pray for all my family.
So what caused that? Like, I don't remember you being religious.
Just like.
Or would you call yourself religious?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I really am. I don't know. I guess I would be like just so like caught up with just like, man, fuck, like, God doesn't love me. God doesn't love me. I was like that for a long time, just like, and then I just was like, and then I just kind of like hear people like, like just say that shit too and shit like that. And, everybody has their own, preference, but I'm like, like there's a creator somewhere out here, like, like I listening to like Theo Von podcasts, you know what I'm saying, like. He'd be like, man, the Lord, like people just like. Then I started to take Kiki to like, like I had like I would be on my MacBook and have like I guess it's kind of like a Zoom meeting with like my cause I was raised in a Christian household and stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
and so I'd have so I go back to what I was saying. I have a like a Zoom meeting with like my aunt's. Like she has like a church group that she goes to,
Mm-hmm.
and like she's always like pray, like, and so I don't know. I just kind of wanted to just like start doing that more, and I'd text her and I'd be like, I'm praying more, Auntie, like I'm praying more, and she was like, that's good, keep praying, and so
I heard this one quote from this one UFC fighter. He's not a UFC fighter anymore, but back when he was coming up into UFC ranks, he had it on Instagram, And for some reason, I don't know. Like I really like the quote. It says some shit like, "When times are bad, pray. When times are good, pray."
Exactly.
Essentially like that.
Yeah. I that's see that like that's the kind of like philosophy I have now. Like I just be like, man, something got to change, and then so I just like like real quick, like just like just like pray in my head, or then I'll really actually like do this. I'll burn some candles, maybe like the Jesus ones and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Get on my knees and then pray, like my aunt would say, like and I'd be like, damn, I mean, and then like I my mom always wanted me to be a pastor, and so I would like have to like one like dude the other day, like I mean like a couple weeks ago, like my mom was leaving, and I was like, damn, because she'd be going off and wandering about, and going to the casino and hustling up some money and stuff however she can, and I for Lord knows I don't what I'm saying, I don't want to even know. And so, and then like my grandma, I just be like, I'm gonna stay here, and like we're all like like together, and I'm like, man, like we need a miracle. And then I'd be I prayed with them, like holding their hands and stuff like that, and they're like, that was nice, like that was very gentle, like you need to learn how to pray. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. And then so did our prayer, amen, hope a miracle comes. My grandma won $500 on a scratcher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
well, look at that.
maybe I don't know, maybe I manifested that here. Something happened. So I was like, all right. She was like, all right, now go get some groceries. And I'm like, all right, fine.
I think that's something that a lot of people, I don't know. I feel like they get it twisted sometimes. I feel like manifestation is something else other than like, I guess, almost praying to a higher power.
It's something like that, I think.
It's kind of like, almost the same paths, just one sounds less religious. And I don't know, it seems like people don't want to be labeled as religious nowadays.
Yeah, it has its I guess it has a like a pretty negative connotation, right? Like people like, that's why I be seeing people like to be on drugs. And some people, they're like, yeah, I pray to like to whatever like they pray to. And then but then like they're messed up on drugs and stuff like that, and I see other people like messed up on drugs, like screaming out like, man, fuck God, like fuck God, like why? Like I'd be like, damn, man, I might have to pray for him.
That's a good response.
I'd just be saying like, I'd be saying like, pray for this world, like like help everybody, like
I always think back to, I don't know if you've ever seen that South Park episode when, like, I think, like a Mormon family comes, and everyone's kind of like giving them shit because their religion is kind of like kooky, and the episode kind of like gives you a backstory of like, this religion is fucking stupid. Why are there people following it? But then at the end of the episode, like, I forgot what character it was that, like, I guess he learned the lesson, like, shit, like, okay, the religion might be a little kooky, but they're happy. Like, their religion keeps them, like, as a family unit, and they're happy at the end of the day, and I'm over here shitting on them for being happy.
I feel that. I mean, yeah, I remember not being able to see a lot of South Park because my grandma would come in and she'll just start being like, man, turn off that shit. So, like, because she didn't like the way that they were talking and shit. And so I was like, man, I can't watch it. But then when I come over here, I'd kind of, you'd be watching it, and I'd be like, oh, let me watch it. I'm like, hey, that was actually kind of neat. Like, and then I started, like, I occasionally I'll take a little binge and I'll watch a few more episodes because, I find it on, like, Netflix or Hulu.
Yeah.
So I would watch more episodes and stuff like that, and then I was like, man, this is actually a pretty cool show. Like, I don't know why I guess they, I guess it was just like convinced like me into not watching it. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? This is actually a good show. I would binge watch it with my ex-girlfriend. And we just laughter I feel like is just one of the best medicines. Like
Mm-hmm.
it helps, like, because like you can just snap and just somebody be mad, and just like damn, like that's just so negative. Like I want, like, even, it's weird. It's tricky how everything plays out.
No, I think you got a point there. Fucking laughter, comedy, anything like that, anything that's funny, is
Yeah,
really a good medicine.
that's why I be watching stuff like Theo Vaughn, because he makes me laugh so much, and he's part Nicaraguan too. And
Oh yeah, I remember.
and I was like, I be just laughing, like, when I watch him, because he's just so interesting. But then I'd probably have it like on my wireless. Like I'd be in a situation where, like, I'm at my house though, and then like I have it on like the Bluetooth speaker,
Mm-hmm.
and then like I'm listening to it. My grandma, like, she's like, oh, he's a Nicaraguan man. We might be related to him. But then she listened to some of it and she's like, man, those people are talking craziness. And I'm just like, all right, I gotta turn it off now. I'd be like, damn it, got caught. And in the apartment building, hey, now relating to that, man, I be just hearing people slam like, cause there's like 400 like rooms, and I know that like most of them like have a bunch of family there and stuff like that. I be hearing people so mad, like they be slamming doors, they be stomping down the fucking hall. I run into people, I just say like, just like a hello, and then they're like, they kind of like hi, like, like at least I got a hello and shit, like that, it kind of changes their mood and stuff like that. But then I just hear people slamming doors, like even us, like we be arguing, and I'd be like, hey guys, everybody calm down, like people can hear us from outside, you know what I'm saying, like next door and stuff like that. Dude, the other day I was literally like, I heard, like, because this dog that, like, I guess they the next door, like, that they have like in a cage and shit sometimes, and it would just be howling, or it'd be hungry. I don't know. I guess they have a family and they probably be gone, leaving the dog there, and I don't know, forget to feed it, and then so it starts howling and stuff. And then the other day I literally like kind of peeked my head over to see if the dog was okay, because I could kind of like see their room, and literally, because I just heard this, like, something like kind of startled me, and then I kind of got alert and went over there. Literally saw her wringing the dog's neck. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, damn, yeah, some fucking weird ass neighbors.
Bro, I be seeing the most bizarre people there. But then there's some cool people too. Like, I run into some cool people that are really like nice. They're really helpful. Like, you talk to them a little bit. They're like, hey, shoot, I could help you out real quick. Like. And so, but then you hear like people just freaking pissed, like, and then there's youngsters too. You know what I'm saying? They probably got their own kind of lifestyle and stuff like that. And so but I hear them, like, people smoking and drinking. You hear people outside, they're playing, but they're like kind of gang banged out and stuff like that. And then like, but they're youngsters and stuff like that. And so, and yeah, it just be so bizarre. And then people are just slamming the doors like all the fucking time. Like, sometimes that's why, like, sometimes I be tired, like, and then like something just happens, bro. Like another day, like, some ladies like literally like yelled out, "Help me!" And I literally, like, all right, I'm gonna go take a walk real quick. Let me go see what the fuck. Like, I literally, like, I seen people from the can we have like a what do you call it, like a veranda, like like where you can go out, and like a balcony. And so I seen so many people looking, and they were concerned, bro. They were like there was a bunch of people concerned, like. And then, so that's why I was like, I'm gonna take a walk and go see where that was coming from. Maybe I could help, because I'm always happy to help. You know what I'm saying, when I can, And so that's kind of always been like my personality and stuff. And so I was like, damn, fuck. Like, working as a security officer at Providence, the little moment that I was working there, I was like, they were like, yeah, no, he's really cool. Like, he's really helpful, and he's actually pretty smart. Like. And like, there was this really cool guy that was really like, he was like mentoring me, and we'd making jokes and stuff like that. at each other, but like he was like, you're really responsible, but then he's like, but you need some, as a security officer, you need some work, a little bit of work. And then I think that was like the last day I was there, but that's because like I had to go home and catch a bus. I missed the bus, fucking last bus, because I was working into the nighttime. So I had to walk, call my girl. I'm like, man, now I have to walk at night, and I have all this stuff, and I'm tired. And then she'd be like, wait, I'm gonna call my dad to come pick you up. And then just like, then it just turned into like, she's like, all right, he's on his way. And then be like, fuck, man, this is looking bad. Like, so.
Do you think you control your anger well?
I feel like I could use some work, maybe take a little anger management class or something. But I definitely just try to like be chilling, but I think everybody gets mad. Like, seriously, like, some people just have a different way of showing it, or they're like a lot more peaceful, or maybe they have like, or maybe they've been at anger management and they learned a thing or two, but like, you're gonna see angry people in anger management, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but everybody gets angry, so, and then, it kind of like, it's stressful, and like, stress really, it can really like pay like a big effect on your health, and stuff like that. And so that's why I try to just be more peaceful, and then just like, watch more peaceful things and stuff like that, instead of like crazy cool stuff, like, kick-ass stuff like that you find on the internet. Like, but then sometimes, you're just like, that's why like even social media, like, they be pissing people off. Like, just looking at a video, like, I just saw a fucking alligator fucking eat somebody in Florida, like, by accident and shit like that. Like, yeah, like, no, by accident, like, because I was, like, maybe on my story, like, I was on, like, like a page that, like, pops up because, technology and, apps, and so, yeah, like, I was like, man, I wasn't trying to see that. It's negative as fuck. Negative as fuck. Oh, there's some positivity. Negative as fuck. Negative as fuck. Negative as fuck. Oh, okay. I'm gonna just go on to YouTube and just put on some Theo Von and just listen to that. And then just, some comedy and stuff like that. And just like, let me put myself in a better mind space. Because that shit just like, it can just trigger you and just turn everything around and stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah. It's crazy, but yeah, and then stress, like, I'll go back to what I was saying about that. It really, it pays a toll on people. And, like, people, like, hyperventilate. Like, people pass out and stuff. Like, or, like, they blood burst. They fucking, like, Randall. That's why I be kind of like, damn, my little brother knows how to use a phone. Like, he really knows how to use a phone. He's actually smart in that way. And he got better at it. So that's why I give him a PSP so he could play something, like, cool. And, and so, like, but then, like, sometimes I know that, like, he sees something stressful, he's like, ah, you just see him scream, I'm like, Reno, is everything okay? He's like, yeah, and just, like, and he'd watch something, like, crazy, and he'd be like, ah, and I'd be like, fuck, Reno, like, chill.
But, yeah, anything you want to bring up before, I guess
wrap this up, or what?
Yeah. We're almost got like an hour, so.
Yeah, peace, love, tranquility. Spread that in the world.
So what are you trying to do? I know that you said that you've been looking into setting up your own like podcast.
Well, just kind of been all over the place, but we have your outlet to whenever we have time to come around. Right now, I'm kind of looking into more research, getting a little like team together to kind of like that have the like-minded ideas, so we can all kind of like work together. And so like that's why like that girl Blue, I'm like, we followed each other on Instagram. I'm like, hey, when you're not doing your live stream, can you teach me how to like set everything up? And she's like, yeah, for sure. She's like, you're really cool, man. Like, you're down to earth. But then she'd be drinking on the fucking live, and then she'd be like, fucking yeah, party, like fucking going crazy. But she's really cool. She said she's gonna fly out here from Michigan like in December, and so she's like, "Yeah, I want to meet you like in person." You never know where that might go.
Where'd you meet her?
On dating app.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. You can live stream on a dating app?
Yeah, they do live streams.
What the fuck? That's weird.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that could wrap it up. And yeah, peace, love.
All right. I guess we'll call it we'll call it a show right there. All right. America, we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care.